Hey, hey, hey. Welcome to another episode of the Kat Myers Show with your host, Kat Myers. We are here on YouTube. We are in season 3. This season started off with Meet the Candidate as the theme, or Meet the Candidates as the theme. And it's switched up a little bit. So in episode 1, I told you all that I would have a really big update for you this week, and I am staying true to my word. So the update is on Friday, August the 7th of 2026, I filed for my first ever political office, and it is the Richland School District 1 School Board seat, and it is, to be specific, seat 2. So there are different seats for different areas within Richland School District 1, and then there are at-large seats. So commissioners who serve the entire school district. So my seat is seat 2. It is being vacated by Commissioner Jamie Devine, who has held the seat for 17 years. Before him, Mr. King Jeffcoat held the seat. Those of you from Columbia, South Carolina, and if you're a product of Richland One, in the 90s and the early 2000s, I promise you'll remember him. He came into W.A. Perry Middle School. That's where I first encountered him. And he coached us for a poetry contest that we had to do. And if I'm not mistaken, I ended up reciting a Langston Hughes poem. And I think it was Mother to Son. But he helped me with how to recite the poem. And then I think I may have even worked on an original piece. But he was just kind of like a mainstay in my childhood. And I think I've been, I realized that I have been really blessed to have not just him, but Representative Leon Howard was a part of my schooling career, middle school through high school. Dr. Vince Ford, also from the school board, was a mainstay and a speaker at many events. And now that I'm an adult, I can really appreciate them even more because they went above and beyond, and they had the freedom of their time to be able to come in and impact us and interact with us during the school day. And it was comforting, and sometimes I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes it was aggravating to have to hear sometimes what felt like the same speech over and over again. But now looking back on it, I really appreciate that time that they sacrificed and gave us. And so I'm running for office, you guys. I'm super excited about it, but I'm also committed to doing a lot of work to be elected. And that work, that planning, and that strategizing kind of overpowers the excitement sometimes. So I feel like I'll be excited at the end of the road if I'm able to secure this win. But right now, I'm really focused, and I'm not just focused on the campaign. So most of the time, I'm focused on running my own business called the Myers Law Firm. MyersLawSC.com is my website. Feel free to, look me up and see the services that I offer. My office is based in Columbia, but I service the entire state. So if you are in South Carolina or know someone in South Carolina that needs legal representation, give me a call. Follow the link to schedule a consultation. You can find me on social media. You can also send me a message to my website. And if I can't help, I'll be more than happy to direct you to someone who can. So most of the time I'm running my business. And then after I run my business, then I get to doing the work of the campaign, which includes some kind of more mundane tasks like setting up my bank account, getting my website ready, scheduling and planning for a fundraising event. And then the more social things like going out to community events, going to the school board meetings, and seeing, what opportunities exist for me to interface with the community, with parents, and with stakeholders for Richland School District 1 schools. And so in addition to campaigning, I also am an adjunct professor at Benedict College. but luckily, my classes have not started yet. So I have a little bit of a breather there. But you guys, I am about to be truly booked and busy, but I want to do it. Everything that I'm doing is on purpose for me. It's intentional for me. And I think that really makes the difference. You know, I remember there was a time in my life where I was super busy, but everything I was doing was for someone else or to prove something to myself, you know? And when I operated that way, I was drained. I felt like I was spread very thin. And that led to burnout for me. But I'm now at a place where I kind of have these three big things. I also have my church. I also have my sorority. Um, but I'm doing things that matter to me and that when I pour my time into it, I'm also getting a reward back. So I think that can be, you know, the difference maker. If you're in a situation where you feel like, oh my gosh, I'm so busy, I'm doing so much, but I'm so drained and I'm so tired, you might have to reevaluate, you know, your why. So that's what I have going on. So because of that, this season 3 of the Kat Myers Show is going to be dedicated to vlogging in a sense, or maybe blogging. I don't know what it's called. I know vlog is with the video, blog is when you write, but we're on this podcast. So let's say blogging, my experience with running for office for the very first time. And I hope that by documenting it in this way, it encourages you to be engaged in the political process a little more, to make sure that you go out and vote on November 3rd, not just for school board, but for all the statewide offices in South Carolina. We have the governor's race, secretary of state, commissioner of agriculture, secretary of education. The list goes on and on. This November 3rd in South Carolina, we have a lot of offices to vote for. And then for those who have been thinking about running for office, I hope that this season kind of provides you an inside look or an inside take into the process to determine, you know, if this is something you want to do and to encourage and inspire you to go after it. I know for me, something that's kind of funny and ironic about the timing of running for office is this isn't the time in my life where necessarily everything is perfect, but the timing is right in the ways that matter, you know? So my skin is not flawless. You know, I'm not the perfect weight, you know, and all of those kind of more superficial things. But the timing in terms of me having the flexibility to run for office, having the financial means to be able to run for office, you know, running for a seat that's a vacancy versus running against someone that I've known my whole life. So I'm just, grateful for the timing. And I just wanted to share with you that everything doesn't have to perfectly line up for you to go after your goals, your dreams, or your aspirations. Before I get too deep into the episode, though, I was super excited to share that news with you, but I always like to start off by kind of talking about how this show was created. So the Kat Myers Show is a legacy of the radio show founded by my late father, Dr. Kenneth Myers Sr., called The Voice of the People. He aired down in Aiken, South Carolina on WAAW Shout 94.7 FM and also up in Spartanburg. I believe the station was WASC. And the station down in Aiken, when he passed away, I took over for him and hosted his show. But then the radio station ended up getting bought out and didn't continue any of the existing programming. So I turned to YouTube, the YouTube channel, this podcast, and I'm so honored and grateful to have a way to honor my dad. And so, the motto of his show was, I love you enough to tell you the truth and I respect you enough to give you the facts. So that's my standard opening. Today's opening, we did it in a slightly different order because I had such the big announcement to share with you guys. And then I really wish my dad was here to see this. My dad, when he passed, was serving on the Spartanburg School Board for District 7. I helped him with that campaign. I helped him with his campaign for the state house, and he was gearing up next to campaign for Spartanburg City Council. So me running for school board is also something that allows me to feel closer to him. My mom's father, so my maternal grandfather, Mr. Isaac McGraw, or Granddaddy Ike, as we called him, he was one of the first African Americans to desegregate the Richland One School Board. So I'm following a legacy on my father's side and on my mom's side running for the school board. Both of my dad's sisters, my aunts, have served on the school board. And so this is exciting on a lot of levels, you know? So, that's what's going on. And what I'm also going to try to do, and we're going to see y'all because I'm biting off a lot here, but I'm going to also try to interview other candidates who are running for office this term. Not school board candidates, but other candidates for other offices. And so I have reached out to some of those candidates. I'm starting to meet them because we're at similar events. And so I may be able to deliver that. So I'm not sure, but that's going to be my goal, to see if I can have some other candidates for other offices come on as guests on the show this season. But if that is too tall of a task, then every week I would love to give you guys an update on what I've been doing and where I've been going. So since we've last talked, I've gone to the Richland One Sportsorama, kind of big opening sports event. It's a football game or multiple football games. So I attended that event. My high school, C.A. Johnson High School, was actually playing. So I got to see a lot of people from my high school. I saw the band, the cheerleaders. It was just awesome. I've also had the opportunity to attend the Sunday dinner held by the South Carolina Democratic Party. And there, I was able to meet new people, kind of reintroduce myself to some folks, and then to also reconnect with friends. So before I opened my law firm back up, I was working for a state agency, and it was a typical in the office, Monday through Friday, 9 to 5 job. So it did not give me a lot of flexibility or extra time. And the demands of that job kind of took a lot of my energy as well. So I had to have the time and the energy to go to extracurricular events. So I really feel good being back in the mix, being able to go to events and support my friends and campaign for office. So I do have some things scheduled to come up. But what I'm going to try to do is kind of share what I've done versus what I'm going to do. So I'm going to share with you guys what I've done. So those are some things I've done since we last met. And I also have a name badge that has my logo, my name, and that I'm running for Richland School District 1. And so I've tried to wear that as often as possible to, just continue to let people, know who I am and that I'm running. I've also attended a Richland One School Board meeting at the district office downtown on Richland Street. It's the Stevenson Administrative Building. And as I sat in that meeting, I thought to myself, oh my goodness, I remember being in this room like 20 years ago. I used to attend school board meetings with my parents. I would attend to receive awards. And then during the school day, Dr. Epps, who was the superintendent when I was in high school, he formed a superintendent's supervisory council, where he had a couple students from each school, and we would all sit at a round table. And I think we had like box lunches, and we would talk about what was going on in the schools, what was concerning us. And I just thought that was an awesome initiative. But I said all that to say it's been a while since I've been back in Richland School District 1, like the administrative building. I've had the opportunity to go into a lot of different schools as a speaker, as a career fair participant, you name it. And I just want to kind of briefly say the answers to a few questions that I've gotten a lot. So number one is, what's your platform? So I want to run and I want to serve in this position as Richland School District 1 commissioner because I want to ensure that students have the tools that they need to make their dreams come true. And that includes supporting teachers, staff members, principals, and everyone who touches the lives of students. I do think it's important to make sure that they have dreams, goals, and aspirations, but I think it's super important that they have the tools to actually make those dreams come true. And all dreams don't have to be related to career aspirations, right? I want students to, of course, be able to be gainfully employed and support themselves. But in addition to that, I want to make sure that they're able to also have, the tools to know what it takes to have physical wellness and mental and emotional wellness as well. We live in a society with so much information from social media, so much information from the internet and from AI. And sometimes students don't have the tools that they need to navigate all of this information, to navigate making decisions for themselves, to navigate making choices and thinking for themselves, critically thinking versus just following trends or what's cool or trying to fit in. And emotional wellness and balance are so important in young people's personal lives, but also for them to be successful in their professional endeavors as well. So that's, my platform. Those are some things that I care about. And I'm also excited to get to know what the concerns are for the schools, what the students' concerns are, what the parents' concerns are, and to work for their best interests. Another thing that I've done since we've last talked is I've sent out letters to all the principals for every school in my seat or my district. And I have asked for an opportunity to meet with them and to hear what their challenges are and what their successes are. So I do have a platform and I also have a listening ear. I want to know what the district needs and what the district needs from what the schools need from the district to be successful. So that's the question I've gotten a lot. A lot of people have also asked me, what made you run or why are you running? Well, I think it kind of ties back to that. As an attorney for 12 years now, I've had the opportunity to effectuate change one client or one case at a time. But what I think is powerful about having a political office, particularly representing a district, is that I will have the ability to affect policy for more than one student at a time, but for, the school district as a whole, and to be a change agent. That's one of the reasons why I became an attorney. So I'm running for office to have the ability to effectuate change for a larger amount of people. And at a higher level. And being a Richland School District 1 commissioner puts me in position to do that. I have thought about running for office since I was a teenager, and I have a lot of friends that have had similar dreams. Some of them have gone on to run for office and be successful. Some of them have found their groove in the nonprofit space or by giving back in a philanthropic way, or giving their time as volunteers. So I come from a group of friends. I come from a family. I come from a mom who's a social worker. So who's always looking out for other people, always looking for ways to help. So those are my answers to the two most common questions that I've received. And then the third most common question is people ask, how can they support me? And so you can support me by donating to the campaign, and I will have that link very, very, very soon. You can help me by making phone calls, by sending text messages, by sharing social media posts, by helping me knock on doors, which is canvassing, or by helping me put up signs around the city. So I'm going to have a volunteer meeting / orientation that will give, all the instructions and training needed and any scripts, any materials to hand out for those who would like to volunteer. And then I know some folks are out of city or out of state and still want to assist. And so I think we can find a way to do that, some hybrid or some virtual or social media support. But I have been going all day long, but I didn't want another week to pass before recording another episode for you guys. I want to close out by saying thank you. I want to close out by saying if you have a dream that you haven't, tapped into, this could be the time to go ahead and pull the trigger in making that happen, whether that means getting prepared, taking a course, saving up money, or actually doing that thing. Tomorrow isn't promised. With the death of my father, a lot of life changes that I've gone through, it just really showed me that we don't have to wait on it. We might need to wait on an opportunity, but as you wait on an opportunity, go ahead and get prepared. You don't have to wait on preparation. But as my dad would say, you can pray until you faint, but God is not going to drop anything into your lap. He got that from his Fannie Lou Hamer. We have to work for what we're praying for. No matter the situation or the opposition, we will prevail because God is on our side. I want to thank you so much for listening to episode 2 of season 3 of the Kat Myers Show. We'll be back same time, same place next week here on the YouTube channel. My name is Catherine Myers, and I'm running to be your Richland School District 1 Commissioner for seat 2. I hope y'all have a great day, and I can't wait until next week.